All right. Number one, happy Friday. Number two, there's not going to be a Patreon portion after this video because this is just a brief, to the point rant. A brief, to the point rant. And I'll preface it by saying this rant is going to come across as at least a wee bit petty, a wee bit reactive, which anytime I offer response or rebuttals to other people, what other people say about me, is going to be reactive. And it's definitely going to be one quality I said about myself when I first got on YouTube in April of 2017. I hear sirens. When I got on YouTube in April 2017, I said the number one time you're going to most see my ego side come out, my egotistical side come out, is when I'm angry or agitated. You know, number one, I've always joked that I ain't the best at being a truly modest brother to begin with. But I try my best to be modest and humble and all that good stuff. But when people piss me off, oh man, my ego comes out full force. Full force. Full force. It's about to come out now. And this won't be the first time it's come out along these lines, because I've done at least a handful of videos where I talked about how I'm generally regarded as a pioneer of what's now known as the worldwide manosphere. A pioneer. Why? Because my book, Mo 1, is considered the blueprint. The blueprint for offering advice on learning direct verbal game. It's the gold standard. Now, I didn't stutter saying that. It's the gold standard. It's the blueprint. Ask anybody. Ooh, say it again. It's considered the blueprint of verbal seduction and kinky, erotic, dirty talk. The blueprint, the gold standard. It's the book that other people's books are measured by. And the possibility of sex is considered the blueprint. The blueprint and the gold standard for books that center around two things. Number one, that center around advice on what archetypes of women to avoid interacting with, which I'm going to get to in a second. What type of women to avoid interacting with. And secondly, it's the blueprint and gold standard in terms of emphasizing to men, encouraging men to place a high degree of emphasis on their non-sexual time, attention, and companionship. On placing a high degree of emphasis on their non-sexual time, attention, and companionship. Hence my infamous no free attention philosophy. And along with that, also putting a high degree of emphasis on valuing and protecting your financial resources and material possessions. Why am I talking about this? You know my followers. It's always my followers. Every now and then I'll hear stuff myself, but probably 75 to 80% of the time, when you hear me reacting to something, offering a response or rebuttal, it's usually something brought to my attention about one or more of my followers. And yesterday I had a follower tell me that he was listening to, it wasn't a podcast, I think it was a live stream. Yeah, I don't think it was a podcast because he would have sent me the link. It was somebody's live stream. I ain't gonna say the name of the person because I didn't hear it myself. So I'm always reluctant to say names if I didn't hear it with my own ears. But anyway, my follower said that he was listening to a live stream and they were talking about, it was some black guys. I will say that. It was some black men. Some black men talking. And they were talking about guys in the manosphere who got the balls and courage to call out black women's fuckery You know, that's a major talking point on the black side of YouTube. Black women's fuckery. And then I guess they were similarly talking about, they named a few names of guys who they feel like don't have the balls or courage to call out black women's fuckery. And inevitably, my name came up. And what this fellow told me, one brother said was this. Again, I didn't hear it, so I'm going to be paraphrasing this guy's words. But supposedly some guy said, I like Alan Roger Currie. That's what supposedly this guy said. He said, I like Alan Roger Currie. I generally respect him. But my criticism of Alan Roger Currie is that he only really offers advice and commentary that centers on helping men get with women, you know, connect with women romantically or strictly sexually, just generally getting their pants. That's what his advice centers around. But Alan Roger Currie don't really give any advice on helping men identify the women that they should stay away from. Insert dog face here. Now, you know I don't like to use the N-word as much as possible, but I got to. Nigga! Nigga! Are you serious? Whoever said that? Whoever made that comment? Are you serious? And this is where Alan Roger Currie's ego gonna come out. Nigga, most of the talking points y'all talk about on YouTube, you got from this brother. I am the godfather of all the major talking points on YouTube. You know, on the black side. Or even worldwide. I dare somebody to deny that. Nigga, no less than 50 to 60% of y'all talking points here on YouTube, on these various audio and video podcasts, y'all got from me. Y'all better recognize who y'all listening to. Nigga, I could go down the list. All these niggas gonna copy my shit. I am the godfather of the black manosphere. Yeah, I said it. I'm the one who came up with all these talking points y'all be talking about. Get the fuck out of here, man. Are you serious? Don't even think about challenging my throne. All y'all motherfuckers copying my talking points, duplicating my talking points, plagiarizing my talking points. And y'all want to talk shit about me. Nigga, I'm y'all king, motherfucker. Quote me on that. I'm y'all king. Damn it. Nigga, don't ever disrespect me by saying some stupid shit like that. Fuck yeah, my ego's coming out. Nigga, I'm done generated all y'all motherfucking talking points in this bitch. Shit. Nigga, the possibility of sex was the first book in the manosphere to come out that was exclusively, keyword exclusively, dedicated to talking about what women to avoid. Name a book that came out before the possibility of sex that was exclusively dedicated by a prominent figure in the manosphere. I ain't talking about the black manosphere, I'm talking about the worldwide manosphere. Name somebody prominent in the worldwide manosphere that had a book out before the possibility of sex that was exclusively dedicated to telling men what archetypes of women to avoid interacting with, either for casual sex, long-term relationships, or both. I'll wait. Name a book. possibility of sex. Talks about women you should avoid interacting with if your objective is casual sex, which is, of course, what I refer to as manipulative time wasters. Name a book that came out talking about women similar to that archetype before me. Name a book. Nigga. And part 2 of the book talks about the 5 major archetypes of women that you should avoid for long-term relationships and marriage, which is predominantly materialistic gold digger types, home wreckers, wannabe mistresses, wannabe side pieces, spoiled, argumentative drama queens, closet misandrists and radical feminists, and liars, cheaters, and adulterers. Liars, cheaters, and adulterers. Now, if someone wants to make the argument, well, Alan, when it comes to specifically black women, no, you cannot say you were the first guy to go in on black women, because I would say Tommy Sotomayor was probably the first guy to go in on black women. And even before him, Tim Alexander with his movie Diary of a Tired Black Man. And I'll give you that. I rarely have ever gone in specifically on the fuckery of black women. And the simple fact, as I've said before, is because I don't believe black women have significantly more fuckery than any other woman. See, I've dealt with white women. White women got their fuckery. It might be a different brand of fuckery than black women, but still, they got their fuckery. At the risk of generalizing, white women are arguably the most notorious gold diggers on planet Earth. I used to work in Hollywood, man. I used to work with women who were like top tier gold diggers, and all of them were white. Them women knew how to run game on men like clockwork. Sisters don't even have that type of game like white women do when it comes to being a materialistic gold digger. They don't have that type of game. They don't. As a group, there might be individual exceptions, but as a group, black women could never hang with white women as a group when it comes to being a materialistic gold digger, ever. White women know how to financially rape a motherfucker. Believe that shit. So anybody try to suggest that white women should be put up on a pedestal and act like they don't have no flaws and weaknesses, shit. I spoke at the 21 convention 2 years in a row. Man, over half the dudes there, that's all they was complaining about was white women fuckery, was also known as Becky fuckery. Asian women. Man, I've had Asian clients of mine and followers of mine send me videos of Asian women beating the shit out of their boyfriends, fiancés, and husbands. I'm talking about kicking them in the nuts, slapping the shit out. Just early this year, I had an Asian follower of mine send me a video of this Asian woman. Man, she was beating the shit out of her boyfriend. And she was slapping him. She kicked him. She kneed him in his balls. She kicked him in his head. And y'all want to talk about, well, Asian women don't have no fuckery. Hispanic women. I lived with a Hispanic woman in Los Angeles. I've dealt with quite a few Hispanic women in my life. They got fuckery too. Hispanic women will challenge the shit out of your masculinity because they don't want to be with no punk. If they think you a punk, they gonna roast you. They gonna roast you. Believe that shit. Unless you're talking about real snooty upper middle class type Hispanic women, they might be a different breed. But if you're talking about Hispanic women that have street sensibilities to them, shit, man, they gonna shit test your backbone like a motherfucker. They gonna shit test your backbone like a motherfucker to see if you're a real man. And Middle Eastern women. Dude, I got a lot of Middle Eastern followers that share horror stories of their interactions with Middle Eastern women. I've dealt with a couple of Middle Eastern women before when I lived in Los Angeles. I had a client who got thrown in jail on the request of a Middle Eastern woman simply because he invited her to breakfast to share a cup of coffee with him. He got thrown in jail for 24 hours. So the main reason I don't go in specifically on black women is because I don't feel like black women have more fuckery than non-black women. A lot of you motherfuckers do, and that's your choice. But I don't. Because I guarantee you, 90% of y'all guys who believe that, y'all ain't dealt with women outside your race. I know you haven't. I know you haven't. Y'all ain't dealt with women outside your race. Possibility sex, when it first came out, do you know it was ranked as high on Amazon as number 7 in the category of sex advice and number 12 in the category of dating advice? Now, that might not seem like that big a deal to some people. But again, the possibility of sex didn't offer any advice on connecting with women romantically, connecting with women for strictly sexual purposes. That book was pretty much entirely about what women to avoid interacting with. What women to avoid interacting with. And it rose to as high as number 12 in dating and number 7 in sex advice. I want to say there's no other book that's come out in the last 10, 15 years that has accomplished that feat. Because before the possibility of sex, the only time I saw guys in book form talk about what women to avoid interacting with, they might have spent maybe a chapter or two in a book. But an entire book dedicated to what women avoid, and this guy on this live stream gonna say, I can't give Alan Roger Currie no props because he never talks about what women that men should avoid? Are you serious? Man, somebody better clue this nigga into what my book is about. You better give me my goddamn respect. I'm your king, bitch. Nigga, all your talking points come from this motherfucker right here. I was the first one in this thing called the manosphere to come out with most of the major talking points that people talk about today. I was. As far back as 2002 on AskMan.com, I was talking about all this shit that I hear all these motherfuckers talking about on their various podcasts and live streams today. Some of y'all motherfuckers was still in middle school and high school when I was talking about the shit y'all now talking about today. Man, don't ever disrespect me like that. Or else I'm going to come out with another egotistical rant blasting y'all like I'm doing right now. I don't care whose feathers I ruffle with this one because I want to ruffle some goddamn feathers. Recognize who this brother is talking to you.